What's up? What up? Time to make a video. Trying to get back on a normal schedule. So I'm up at 5 in the morning, which tells you how fucked up my schedule was. You know, because I'm staying awake for the stupid Connor fight and all this. And I've got another UFC right around the corner, but let's see here. Computer freaking out a little bit. Just a little bit. Now let's see if there's any good new songs. Oceans from Vallis Alps. Never heard of it. Interesting. Not bad. Take it in. What the fuck?
天国を追い出された天使は悪魔になるしかないんだ。そうだろう、スパイ。
god, this video. This video. Look at this shit.
They say drug, sex, and rock and roll. In my case, drug, sex, and hip hop was really the college years. And as I say,
oh god, I need to. Where's my recording device? Where's my vibrator? Must have brought it. Must have. It's dark. There's no. Oh, here it is. I'll do that later. Will, please. Okay, bringing these all in. Thank you. And we're going to start with. What do we start with? Dave Rubin's back. Season 3. Let's see. God, that's so bad. This intro, I did not make this intro. This is their in-house hack job of an imitation of what I built them. It's so bad. I could show you the difference. Oh my god.
Whew, where to begin this week? Well, in case you missed it, I was off the grid for an entire month from August 4th to September 5th, and I have the facial hair to prove it. As you can see, my beard actually even has a Twitter account already, which somehow is a real thing on the internet.
That was a joke. Just so you know. That's when you're supposed to laugh. Please start.
Hey everybody. So it turns out Dave Rubin is back. I didn't know he was gone. He's kind of like herpes. It's like you stop thinking about it for a while and then you're like, oh yeah, I have herpes.
And let's scale and position. And let's anticipate that our character will be on the screen. There you go.
You stop thinking about it for a while and then you're like, oh yeah, I have herpes. So he's back, he's grown a beard, he's done some soul searching, and he's got some new things to say.
And then I have no idea what I am talking about. So let's figure out how I compiled this in my mind.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. Perhaps. Let's see what he's saying here. Scheiße.
On the internet. Over the past
What?
account already, which somehow is a real thing.
Hey everybody. So it turns out Dave
Wow.
Somehow is a real thing on the
Hey
internet.
everybody. So it turns out Dave
He talks very fast.
Was a real thing on the
Hey
internet.
everybody. So it turns out Dave
Actually, that would be a better thing to do.
Hey everybody.
And then that.
On the internet.
Hey everybody. So it turns out and he's got some new
On the
things to
internet.
say.
Over the past 30 days, I've had no phone, no email, no Twitter, and no digital noise in my life whatsoever. I also didn't watch any news or have one single conversation about politics the entire
Say.
Over the past
Fat. Fat brown buffalo. What's this? What's this does? Shit. That's good, but why is it like that? Not good at all here, not good at all. Google giveth, and Google taketh away. Maybe I should refine the search. Blank sign. Nothing speaks to me. It's just not what I'm looking for. 'Cause I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Come on, baby. That's pretty audacious. That's a big one. And it's not even a PNG with transparency, which is always nice. Thanks, guys. It's random, but I'll try it. Bring it in. And then what you're going to do is select, delete. Thank you. We're going to take a little bit of the saturation down just because we're weird like that. And we're going to type in the expression, who cares? We're going to go to the family of fonts here. And we're going to scale this up. Then we are going to make that even bigger. We're going to and we're just going to sit here and let it freeze. Cool. So do it like that. And we are going to add the drop shadow. Can't even see it because this image is ridiculously large. Better. I like it. Serves a purpose. Takes a sweet ass time. Culprit, drive away.
Taking shots until we both forget, one more picture to remember it. Backseat love, your lips are on my neck in your driveway. Gatorade, bottle full of Jack, killing time in your cul-de-sac. Everybody call, we ain't calling back. Hot night, but I'm getting chills. 2 a.m. and it's early still. Fast love, but it's feeling real. If this neighborhood could talk, streetlights whisper when we park. We're out here in the dark.
I've had no phone, no email, no Twitter, and no digital noise in my life whatsoever. I also didn't watch any news or have one single conversation about politics the entire time I was gone, believe it or not. What I did do during this time was a combination of writing my book, What I did do during this time was a combination of writing my book, relaxing, doing some gardening, taking long walks with my dog.
And then
Combination of writing my book, relaxing, doing some gardening, taking long walks with my dog, and spending time with friends and family. As I said in our live stream yesterday, incredibly grateful and humbled by those of you who support the Rubin Report on Patreon and on PayPal for letting me and my crew carve out this precious bit of time to rest, rejuvenate, and come back more focused.
Do, do, do. Da, 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 do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Free speech. You gotta be fucking kidding me. He's talking about free speech. He's speaking about free speech. That's a winning topic. We've polled the audience. They know they like to hear about the free speechy stuff. Yeah. Do 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 do. Free spee.
Report on Patreon and on PayPal for letting me.
Yeah. Meh. Well, this is awkward. Let's do that because we're gonna want to animate in position. Oh. Remove the mask. Thank you.
Patreon and on PayPal for letting me and my crew carve out this precious bit of time to rest, rejuvenate, and come back more focused than ever before. I also learned a couple life lessons this past month, including that writing a book is far more intense and interesting.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real.
Far more intense and introspective than you can possibly imagine. So just give me a little more time on that one. Unsurprisingly, the news cycle just give me a little more time on that one. Unsurprisingly, the news cycle kept on spinning without me, and I'm just now catching up on everything that I missed, from the terror attack in Barcelona to the events in Charlottesville, to the devastation of Hurricane Harvey, and now Trump's reversal of DACA. There's no shortage of news for me to get caught up with. For this direct message, though, I want to look forwards and not backwards, and instead share some thoughts on the future of what we're going to be doing around here. I consider today to be the first episode of I consider today to be the first episode of season 3 of the Rubin Report. Our first season of the Rubin Report as an interview show began 2 years ago when we launched on Aura TV with my interview with Sam Harris. Over the next year, TV with my interview with Sam Harris. Over the next year, the show began to blow up as we focused more and more on free speech and the
Add a glow to that, shall we? Shall we? Said that very weird. And let's add a solid. Let's go black. No, let's go something audacious. Pink, hot pink. Can I get a hot pink up in here? Drag it underneath. There you go. Center this in the composition. Thank you. For once. Then we're going to pre-compose that. Yeah. And then we're going to strobe it. Sort of strobe it like that. And then after the third one, we're going to change that setting to like that. And we're going to make that one like that's weird. That's even weirder. Okay. Let's try that.
The battle for logic and free speech and the battle for logic and reason to be put back into public discourse. A year ago, we left Aura and went fully independent so we could 100% control the content we were creating as well as the business behind it. I consider this phase of our show to be season I consider this phase of our show to be season 2. I don't know if any show out
Good Lord.
business behind it. I consider this phase of our show to be season 2. I don't consider this phase of our show to be season 2. I don't know if any show out consider this phase of our show to be season 2. I don't know if any show out I don't know if any show out there has any show out there has a more diverse guest list over the past
Let's take all. Ooh, tricky. Very tricky. Like that. And, well done, Devin. Well done. Let's take that and let's extend. Oh, I like what you're doing with that one, Devin. Really nice work there. Now let's tighten that up. Yes. Oh, dear Lord, dear good. Now let's add a drop shot to that. What? What a bold artistic choice from you, Mr. Tracy. Well, why, thank you. Stop kissing my ass, please. Let's bump that up. Yes. Gaussian blur? Why? Why would you blur text? Not that much. Just one by one. There you go. And by the way, take all that shit, the drop shadow, and ooh, not that shit. Take this and this, copy, paste it onto this. Boom.
Any show out there has a more diverse guest list over the past 2 years, and I intend on expanding on that, going deeper on the important issues that we're talking about.
Now, let's take this one, drag it down. Thank you. Drag on. Take all three. Come over here, and let's even extend this one this way. Yes. God, yes, you fucking rule. And let's pre-compose. And shit. What have I done? How do I make the layer styles go through? I know there's a way to do this. Dissolve. New. Shit. Okay. We'll do it the hard way. Fuck them. We gotta drag this. Where are we on the screen here? Oh, we're way over there. Let's drag all these up to the top. Well played. Now over here, somewhere in here. Where are we at here?
And I intend on expanding on that, going deeper on the important issues that we're
talking about.
And more. We're talking about and more. Your support.
Is there a sign for money? There it is.
Support allows me to do what I think is right instead of focusing on what content will make a dime.
And cut. Hold up. Let's go to Dave 2. I'm in full flow. Now we've got to extend this clip, make it 44 minutes. I don't know. You got time?
10 will make a dime.
Oh my God. Okay, that is rich. So he's broken this down into seasons.
Now, what about a kangaroo? Oh, I think I've already brought them in. Yeah. Ion. bring him in front of Sammy. All right.
Content will make a dime.
Oh my God. Okay, that is rich. So he's broken this down into seasons of the Rubin Report. These also correlate with the seasons of Dave Rubin. They're ever changing.
Shit. Caramba. It's hard to do what you want to do, you know?
Oh my God. Okay, that is rich. So he's broken this down into seasons of the Rubin Report. These also correlate with the seasons of Dave Rubin. They're ever changing. Now, when he first came on the scene, for many of us who weren't hunched over in hysterical laughter watching his comedy routine in New York, was on a little channel called
Oh, Jesus.
Did you guys know the Dave that you know?
Hello! But I'm glad you're all here. This is very exciting. Hot Gay Comics live for television. By a show of hands, how many of you have televisions? Have you have a pretty good? Okay, and how many of you have the Here Network? Okay, we've got some work to do, but we're very good. So do we have all gay people? Is everyone here gay? You're gay. Very good, very good. Do we have a lot of discussion? Like, did some of you just come out right then? Powerful. Really? That many straight here? You, sir, obviously straight with your 4 chicks. And, a lot of straight people. Really? I was going to have security remove like 3 or 4 of you, but I guess we can't do that. Do we have any gays in relationships, or as gays are mounted from the future? Or as I like to call them, gays from the future. You two, look at the way you're sitting. You guys are mounting each other in love. Look, how long you've been doing it? 7 years. Which in gay years, what, 30? What are we talking? What is that? 7 years. What's the trick?
Oh, fuck. That's depressing.
hysterical laughter watching his comedy routine in New York, was on a little channel called The Young Turks. Turks. And this is where Dave was a total regressive, by his own admission and acknowledgement. He then started getting a clue. He watched my video takedowns of the Young Turks. We talked several times, and he's credited me with pulling him out of what we call the regressive matrix. One of the issues that progressives
Whether
fail
YouTube
on and
demonic.
suck on and suck on is religion. I mean, they fail on most political issues, but really there's an attitude at play. There's a demeanor in which you carry yourself that makes you aggressive. It's a weakness. It's an intentional dishonesty. Little issues, but really there's an attitude at play. There's a demeanor in which you carry yourself that makes you aggressive. It's a weakness. You are aggressive. It's a weakness. It's an intentional dishonesty. It's a willingness to delude yourself, to blind yourself to facts, to say things that sound nice, and to call it a day. And to call it a day. That defines those people. Now, one of those topics is so people bullshitting about religion. They will not be anti-theists. About religion. They will not be anti-theists. They will not call out Islam. People bullshitting about religion. They will not be anti-theists. They will not call out Islam. Different or any worse than any other religion. In its doctrine, they will not call out Islam for being any different or any worse than any other religion. In its doctrines and in how they don't want to ruffle feathers. They want to virtue signal at all times. In other words, the project that they are undergoing is one of self-glorification, not in.
That's going to be a pain in the ass to find, isn't it? Yeah, it is. but I do it. Type in PNG. Thank you. Let's expedite this search. Where are we searching? Where are we searching? Got Connor, we got Dahmer, we got Oozle, we got Chris Hansen. We got Beavis and Butthead, we got Dylan Roof. Incorrect. Let's go to this one. We've got Chocolate Glenn's Tits. A lot of PNG. Oh, saw it. I did see it. A lot of files. Looking for Richard Simmons. Richard? Right. Oh, that's nice. Bring her in. I think we do have a Nazi Steve. That's a nice one. Very nice. I see tits. I see them. I do see them. Saw Dick scroll by. Sean King. It's a whole situation here. That's a good one. Could serve our purpose. Bring him in. There it is. I'm not sure. I think one of these is not transparent. So, yeah, there we go. So what you do on this is you see how it's the edge is shit. So you take the mat, a simple choker will do it. Just choke it off. Just choke her, you know? That's what most girls want anyway, so just give them what they want. Choke them. Back off, and we...
One of self-glorification, not that they are undergoing is one of self-glorification, not in discussing the various of any issue. They don't care about the issue, they care about themselves, but they mask it with some white noise about whatever it is they're talking about. Back then, Dave had a view.
Okay, so we're going to take Virtue, we're going to take My Gift, we're going to take Christopher and Douglas, and whatever the hell that one's called, and we're going to bail them out. This, Scheisser, that, and even this. Nope. That and Douglas. So you can mix it up, put that one a little later. That sort of thing.
They're talking about. Back then, Dave.
No, I hate that aspect of it. Why does that one do that? Okay, so Virtue, you're going to do like that.
Noise about whatever it is they're talking about. Back then, Dave had a view about atheism.
And I'm going to be sliding my dude over. Come on over, baby. It's a terrible song. I don't know why I just sang that.
They're talking about.
Okay, so that's Shice. You can see that I'm just using an expo ease out and not an expo ease in out. You can tell. I can tell.
We're talking about. Back then, Dave, which was, how could you? Fucking laughable. Let's listen. Interview.
Whether you two
Chill the fuck out, Dave.
A couple years ago, while working at TYT, with Anna Kasparian. And the video is titled, Anna Kasparian Tells...
Gotta have some good Anna graphics, don't I? Must have that. Anna? Oh.
TYT with Anna Kasparian. And the video is titled, Anna Kasparian. Anna Kasparian. And the video is TYT with Anna Kasparian. And the video is titled, Anna Kasparian Tells Dave Rubin Why She's Agnostic, Not Atheist. This was back in the humble days of Dave's career.
Fuck this.
He had very few subs. This was December 24th, 2013. Has 22,000 views.
That's the end of it. So we're going to chop, clean it up. Even that one. That. Now we're going to drop in with Anna Kasparian being a dildo.
Vast majority of people who are religious.
Kind of the way we do behind the cameras.
This video
so
has
I'm going to ask Anna a couple
views.
questions. She's going to ask me a couple questions, and we will see what happens. So I want to start with this. So I want to start.
This video has 22,000 views.
So I want to start with this because you were on my show last week.
I was.
And it was a regular show. And one of the things we did is how the belief in God is declining in America.
Yes.
And you've often said that you're agnostic. And Cenk, I think, also is agnostic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the comment section wanted me to ask more about that and find out a little bit more about why you're agnostic. Why don't you?
By the way, they've both reversed their positions on this because it's been explained to them ad nauseum. So this is, it's embarrassing that this is their public stance on something that's obviously not an answer to a question. It's weak as shit.
And And you've often said that you're agnostic. And often said that you're agnostic. And
Yes.
Cenk, I think, also.
Cenk. Jesus Christ. Gank. Oh, fucking gank.
Agnostic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people also is Cenk, I think, also is agnostic.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the comment section wanted me to ask more about that and find out a little bit more about why you're agnostic. Why don't you go as far to say you're atheist and then
All right, kill that, and we will. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna shrink this down. Maybe change the color of that. Is it light blue? Yeah. Oh, did you not like that? I loved it. What a choice. Fucking hell.
atheist and then let's just start with that.
So I certainly don't believe in organized religion as a religion as it stands here. Religion as it stands here on this planet. I feel like organized religion has led to more trouble than it has led to actual good things. I mean,
some terrible motion graphics. Look at that. Jesus Christ, do you see that? So there's no ease or anything. This is just clunky as fuck. Look. So from here, so the G is lined up almost with the A, right? So we're going to take this and put it there. And then the next frame, it's over here. And the next frame, we're looking like there, and then we're off this show. And we zoom in. And you're going to go with what we call a motion, no. What kind of blur is it? Directional blur, I believe. Fast blur will work. So blurriness, horizontal and vertical, no, just horizontal is what we want. It's going to come in there and, okay. And what has happened? What happened was, what the fuck just happened? Am I going crazy? Did I move all that? Very strange. Right. So there we're going matching that. More like that. Yeah, it's not that advanced. It's just whatever. Finished result. that nobody will appreciate or understand when to it. Here we go.
Actual good things. I mean, the reality is the people who are religious in the country are good people. They follow.
And then we're going to come with a under kangaroo, under cartoons. We're going not all. We're scaling down. And we are bringing in what we call a, let's do a crazy man intro. Ooh, no it's not. Cut that layer, pre-compose. Thank you. Now crazy man that. There you go.
Majority of people who are religious in the country are good people. They follow it because they want to believe that, you know, there is life.
And then we will, let's try sideswipe. Let's see what sideswipe would do. If we took sideswipe and then inverted the beginning to end, and then, yeah, it's pretty gay. We could start with sideswipe and then end with chaos theory. So you bring in chaos theory, which doesn't fuck around. Chaos theory gets the fuck out. Please, computer, don't do it.
Want to believe that, you know, there is life after death. I think it's a coping mechanism. A lot of them do turn to it for more.
Let's throw in fapping animation. The fuck? That was creepy, and I like it. Let's bring it in. Fapping animations. That's something I search for. So we go to monkey. Where are you at? Come to pop. There it is. So we're going to bring this in and what if we did that ain't it. Stereo mixer 11%. Let's see what that does.
A lot of them do turn to it for morality, to live a wholesome life. I don't think you need religion to live a wholesome life.
Okay. 4%.
A lot of them do turn to it for morality, to live a wholesome life. I don't think you need religion to live a wholesome life or to be moral. So I just kind of reject the notion of organized religion as a whole. Now, as far as the whole agnostic versus atheist thing,
okay, we need that one.
the whole agnostic versus atheist thing, I just feel really uncomfortable calling myself an atheist. And
all right, we don't want that really. We want, where did I put that file? I'm gonna guess in here. I'm gonna search for the PNGs. They're all PNGs. I see a bunch of tits. Not good, not good. Let's check under a folder I like to call the new batch. PG. We got Steve Shives. That's very delightful. But we are looking for the 4 horsemen of the non-apocalypse. We got virgins. We got Ouzalou. We got Amy holding a cock. Negan. Oh, fuck it. I have to have the individuals. Might as well just recreate it. So, we're going to bring in Sam. We're going to bring in... there's Hitch. There's actually a good one of Hitch, but... yeah, maybe I'll just do the Hitch. Select all that. Good. Come back here. And you want to invert. And you want to feather. Yes. Shift the edge. Why not? Why not indeed? There it is. And, sorry. Then you're going to come back to the layer and freeze it. Let this freeze for a second. It takes a bit of processing power. Sit tight. I think I might have to play a game of chess. I think I might have to. So down, now you're going to pre-compose it. And then you're going to freeze frame it. And there we go. Then you're going to bring in... oops. Like that. And you add a motion blur to it.
Calling myself an atheist and pretending as though I know. Calling myself an atheist and pretending as though I know without a shadow of a doubt that there is no higher being. The truth is, I don't know, and no one really knows.
So does that seem kind of hypocritical to you when people say they're an atheist? Because it's sort of saying like,
no, and no one really knows.
Right. So does that seem kind of hypocritical to you when...
And no one really knows.
Right. So does that seem kind of hypocritical to you when people say they're an atheist? Because it's sort of saying like, I know there's nothing, while at the same time they're, I don't want to say demeaning, but they're sort of marginalizing the... There's nothing, while at the same time they're, I don't want to say demeaning, but they're sort of... There's nothing, while at the same time they're... At the same time they're, I don't want to say... I don't want to say demeaning, marginalizing the people that say, well, I do know there's something automatically.
Yeah, I don't know if
I do know there's something. Marginalizing the people that say, well, I do know there's something automatically.
Yeah, I don't know if critical is the right word. I just feel like it's I don't know if they're being honest with themselves. And look, this is not to criticize atheists. You believe what you believe, right? I think that no one on this planet understands everything.
Yeah.
You don't know much about our own galaxy, much less other galaxies.
Okay, that shall do it there. And that's a freeze frame. We're on the third fucking wave file out of 29. 27. Jesus. Titty fucking Christ. So now we come in with hit shirt. And we scale. And we rotate. And we position. We scale and position on her. And on that one, we're just doing like that. On this one, we're doing ease in out, not expo. We'll go circ, as in du soleil.
Okay. This was so painful. I mean, my face watching this. Oh my God.
I hate the circ. Let's go quint.
Okay. This was so painful. I mean, my face watching this. Oh my God. I love the distinction of, I'm not an atheist, I'm an agnostic. They're both atheists. They're both atheists. They don't understand words. And I'm not even going to insult my audience by explaining to you what the difference is.
Okay, so after that has been established, I would like to get her fucking face on the screen. Where is she? Anna? There we go. Let's get this hag-like bitch on the screen. Give me the close. There it is. All this is what I want. That's it. And you're going to time remap that. Yeah. All that, Anna, all that. And we're going to take that, extend, and bring it in like that.
Agnostic. They're both atheists. They're both atheists. They don't understand words. And I'm not even going to insult my audience by explaining to you what the difference is. Fuck.
Okay, so now we come back to a moment in time. Bring me one moment in time.
I just feel like it's I don't know if they're being honest with themselves. And look, this is not to criticize atheists. You believe what you believe, right? Being honest with them. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if they're being honest with themselves. And look, this is not to criticize. I don't know if they're being honest with themselves. And look, this is not to criticize atheists. You believe what you believe, right?
Okay, and then we come with number 4. Kill the volume on that. Thank you.
For the fucking love of God, you believe what you believe. It's about not believing when you're an atheist. But
okay, so then we're going to take him, and for the sake of whatever, we're going to move him over here and rotate the other way a little bit. There you go.
we're an atheist.
Add motion blur.
Oh, Anna. So Dave right there is just in, oh, can we know anything?
As we talk about Dave, let's give him a little visual. Stop talking, Anna.
Oh, can we know anything? Isn't it hypocritical? Atheists say they know there's no God. He's one step away from asking atheists to prove there's no God. Just failing on so many fronts there. That was the early form of Dave Rubin. Then he went into what he described as the first version of the Rubin Report, which was really after all of this. So after all this...
Okay, so we're going to then shift gears and put our dude over here.
He's one step away from asking atheists to prove there's no God. Just failing on so many fronts there. That was the early form of Dave Rubin. Then he went into as the first version of the Rubin Report, which was really after all of this. So after all this, he starts talking to guys like Sam Harris and Michael Shermer. And he thinks, yeah, maybe atheism is a thing. And that's when you got him talking like this about atheism.
All right, so that would bring us to Dave Rubin on atheism.
Atheism.
God, Jesus, Voldemort.
Okay, and I'm going to give him some time on that.
Life to the biggest questions of the universe. You don't just believe magical pictures come out of your television. Scientists and engineers created the correct conditions. The point here is that believing something without evidence is up to you, but it shouldn't trump anyone else's belief in things that are empirically provable. If you find comfort in believing in God or gods or the spaghetti monster or whatever else is out there, then that's fine as long as you don't push your beliefs on or kill other people who believe in something else. Again, all the atheist is saying is, I don't believe without evidence. It reminds me of this quote by the great Carl Sagan: extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Hearing that a guy talked to a burning bush doesn't prove anything other than that he might be crazy or took some really great magic mushrooms. If he can prove it, well, then we've got a whole other discussion on our hands. Interestingly, many polls show that atheists, then we've got a whole other discussion on our hands.
Okay.
Right, so clearly he's been...
Now let's bring in a couple of pictures. People in clothing. There's a guy in the head shirt and the lady in the Jew shirt. Lady in Jew is Jewing with me. All right, we're go like that, and this one we won't scale it down.
Right, so clearly he's been reading Sam Harris, listening to Richard Dawkins. You know, he got the message. He was watching my videos, etc. The video you just saw a clip from was called Dave Rubin on Atheism, and it's from April 27th of 2016, before he left Aura TV.
Okay, looks like I talk for a long time. We're not 15 minutes in, we're not even close to... Why am I so verbose? What is my goddamn point? Just talking. Fucking crazy. Alright, let's do some other images. Sex. Let's see, bring these in.
Dave Rubin on atheism, and it's from April 27th of 2016, before he left Aura TV, before he went independent, before he blew up, like he said. This is before the $26,000 a month on Patreon, which I think might have changed a few things.
Now, where's that Patreon thing? Oh, God. Should have labeled it. Label your images. What do I call it? What is this? Oh. Okay. There it is.
That he focuses on free speech exclusively. Everything you say is a noun, a verb, and then free speech. The man talked for the $26,000 on Patreon, which I think might have changed a few things. And I like that. Exclusively. Everything you say is a noun, a verb, and then free speech. The man talks about free speech every day of his life. Just a hollow platitude.
Okay, let's...
All understood. We got it the first time. You've said it 10 million times. What the hell? What he was doing was he was criticizing the far left, similar to what I do.
Pose-ish.
Was criticizing. What the hell? What he was doing was he was criticizing the far left, similar to what I do. You know, the people on the far left are totalitarian. They don't want free speech. They don't understand free speech. They would tell you that they're into free speech and then be like, yeah, but not the people we don't like. Just like they'd say, I'm against violence, but I would punch a guy who I think is a Nazi. Sure, why not? So as Dave started changing a little bit, so he started seeing those numbers roll and he started veering to the right.
Oh, why I left the left, Dave Rubin.
Do you believe in free
speech? Do you believe in free speech? The first thing he says. It's a classic. Oh, it's a classic. Oh, Dave. Oh, Yorkshire. All right, let's jump in here and.
Video you just saw a clip from was called Dave Rubin on Atheism, and it's from April 27th of 2016, before he left Aura TV, before he went independent, before he blew up, like he said. This is before the $26,000 a month on Patreon, which I think might have changed a few things. And I like that. He said he focuses on free speech exclusively. Everything you say is a noun, a verb, and then free speech. You say is a noun, a verb, and then free speech.
No.
And the free speech.
Do you believe in free speech? Do you believe that
the man talks about free speech. The man talks about free speech every day of his life. Just a hollow platitude. The man talks about free speech every day of his life. Just a hollow platitude, which we all understood. We got it the first time. You've said it 10 million times. What the hell? What the hell? What he was doing was he was criticizing the far left, similar to what I do. You know, the people on the far left are totalitarian. They don't want free speech. They don't understand free speech. They would tell you that they're into free speech and began to cha-ching a little bit. So he started seeing
So most of the motion graphics.
against violence, but I would punch a guy who I think is a Nazi. Sure, why not? Cha-ching a little bit. So he started seeing those numbers roll, and he started veering to the right, to the point where his coverage of Trump was ludicrously soft. To the point where his coverage of Trump was ludicrously soft. Why? Well, what's the answer to 9 out of 10 questions? Money. He started making money. He started polling his audience. He started to understand who they were and what is a winning formula. You might ask, a winning formula for what? Again, the answer is money. He would talk to guys like Milo Yiannopoulos, who would say,
Jesus H. Titty fucking Christ.
Modern feminists in the Gamergate scandal, and now across university campuses in this dangerous faggot tour. Milo Yiannopoulos has championed the conservative voice and brought to light the beast of the fascistic left on college campuses, as we have witnessed today. Let's give him a round of applause.
answer's money. He would talk to guys like Milo Yiannopoulos, who would say, I'm making he likes to call the new center, which is just a garbage term. Who are not on the left and who are on the right, and all the alt-right people and all the Pepe the Frog people and all the Kekistani, I mean, all that group were the people he was on, conservative after conservative. He builds up this army. He builds up this army of people, and the money starts coming in because he's a voice against the left, and he himself is leaving the left. And
is there a graphic in there that says why I love?
is leaving the left and joining the right. And those are his own words. He did a video for Prager University, a conservative channel, saying why I left the left. Got millions of views. He appears on Alex Jones, shoots the shit. They're buddies.
Dave Rubin, Alex Jones, 22 Newtons.
part of a produced video by Prager University called Why I Left the Left that got millions of views. Dave Rubin is one of the few people when I would watch the Young Turks occasionally I could actually listen to. I'm not just saying that. The arrogance.
Jesus.
Words. He did a video for Prager University, a conservative channel, saying why I left the left. Got millions of views. He appears on Alex Jones, shoots the shit. You think he got a boost from that? A financial boost from visiting Alex Jones? Yes, yes. Follow the money, basically. The money, basically follow the money. So now basically follow the money.
He was part of a produced video by Prager University called Why I Left the Left that got millions of views. Dave Rubin is one of the few people when I would watch the Young Turks occasionally I could actually listen to. I'm not just saying that. The arrogance, the ignorance of the other people. It was like watching folks with a third-grade education tell me how rocket science or moon landings operate. And I
for Prager University, a conservative channel, saying why I left the left. Got millions of views. He appears on
Jesus Christ.
shit. They're buddies. You think he got a boost from that? Alex Jones shoots the shit. They're buddies. You think he got a boost from that? A financial boost from visiting Alex Jones? Yes. Yes. Follow the money. Basically, follow the money. So now he's looking at people like Jordan Peterson.
Oh boy. Let's take my hitchy poop, bring it up, slide it over. Jordan Peterson. 2 hours.
The problems.
Problem.
Each of which were quite difficult. It's very difficult to be a reality TV star that's successful, right? It's very difficult to work in the construction business, and especially on large.
Fuck your mother. Fuck your mother. I would fuck Jordan Peterson's mother right now. Just to say I fucked your mother. Wouldn't you?
So now he's looking at people like Jordan Peterson. And what is Jordan Peterson doing on Patreon? Well, we know he's making bank.
And we're going to position.
operate.
So now he's looking at people like Jordan Peterson.
Fucking hell.
So now he's looking at people like Jordan Peterson. And what is Jordan Peterson doing on Patreon? Well, we know he's making banko.
Jordan of the House Peterson. What would you do if I sang? What? Am I spelling this wrong? The fuck? Okie dokley. Oakley dokley is what I must say to that. And let us figure out what Jordan Peterson is doing. What is happening? Defend your clan. Shit. There's Jordan. Where's his... Dude, I know I have this somewhere. Well, I could do another method, which would be simply go to your E drive and let's find my Jordan Peterson video. And what does that look like? Can I recognize it by thumbnail alone? Legit question. When did I make it? Somewhere back here? There it is.
Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. Dr. Peterson earns $54,979 a month on Patreon. He has 4,881 people. That comes to almost $660,000 a year.
Okay.
No, he's making banko. He's making bank. And what's the secret to that little success? Jordan Peterson. He's making banko. He's making bank. And what's the secret to that little success? Jordan Peterson's got the Pepe the Frog dudes. He's got those Kekistani cunts. He's been called alt-right. He doesn't like the label. But one of those issues that Jordan Peterson is middle of the road on, to say the very least, is the issue of religion. I did a video earlier where he's asked a simple question. Do you where he's asked a simple question, do you believe in God? He freaks out, says, depends what you mean by believe, depends what you mean by God. The guy comes back, do you believe Jesus Christ was resurrected? It depends what you mean by Jesus, it depends what you mean by resurrection. I mean, the guy is a word salad.
And now we come to this. And we search for the greatest meme ever made. That's a great Hitchens. The greatest meme of our time and space. Created by yours truly, but not labeled. Not labeled at all. So, we import this, come back, and let's investigate this one. Let's see if it's in here. Jordan, where are you? There's Maria. Where would that be? I think this is too far back. Gotta be around here somewhere. The Peter North remembers. That's the meme I made. Getting close. See Hassan Piker. Frustration setting in. Wow. Okay. Can't give up. I won't let him beat me. Wow, it's nearly not here. There it is. Fucker.
I mean, the guy is a word salad generator who puts the woo-woo crusader against postmodernism who doesn't accept the concept of truth. Well, you know, there are connotations and, you know. So now Dave...
Okay.
is talking about shifting into a new phase of his life. The completely sold out phase of his life.
Alright, and that's when we're going to open up a yes. That's a bit too big a font. And we're going to stack that. And I hate the line spacing on that, don't you? Hate it. That's a bit tight. And let's, why is that not centered? Why? Jesus. I want 26 on the line spacing. Thank you. Sorry, not sorry. Dave Rubin. Unless I can... Unless... I can do this.
Dr. Jordan, very funny.
Jeez. And we will cut that on the edge there. We're going to take the whole thing, make it that background color of that. And let's put it behind, shall we? And let's center that. There you go. And what is happening? Don't know, don't care. Okay, let's pop over here. Check our notifications. Oh, Jesus. That's nice. Keep that in the arsenal. Somebody yapping about something or other. Which skeptic YouTuber do you like the most? Other put in comments. Bearing? Our choices are Bearing. These are skeptics. Sargon? These are Trump apologists. Sugar Tits? Jesus Christ. Does she even make content? Other. Myself. I'm skeptical of this fucking thing. Put Reese first. The fuck? You put Reese before me? The fuck? Unbelievable. On the second thought, I can suck my fucking puckered asshole. Yeah, Pepe ones, right? Hurt you? Yazidi Refuge. Oh, good. Rubin report. Well, that is just Braving Ruin. That's that edgy Sphinx dude. This is like a Rubin joke. I would expect that in his comedy routine. Rubin's early work. Uh-huh. Okay. Are you going to discuss how he's been demonetized? I just found out myself. No, I'm not. Everybody was demonetized at the same time. But Rubin, who's making 500 grand a year, his demonetization matters? No. He freaked out. So did Gad Sad. I mean, you demonetize a Jew and it's fucking take cover. Yeah, that's true. That is creepy. I'll bring it in. Yeah. Y'all. See that? Rational Outlaw. 65 followers. Libertarian. Followed me. Yay! Yay for me! Alright, let's hit up a little bit of Chessie. You know? And let's see if I can't improve my score. I don't know that song. Feeling this. This is perfect. Oh Jesus. Took it out of Indonesian. Come on, me, bro. Check. Blocks. He's got. I hate it. He's got two choices. And the time he's taking on these two simple choices is telling me that he's a low-ranked player, which I shouldn't mention until I've beaten him, because then I will be hobbling my own self-esteem after losing to him in public, real time. So, oh, look at that. So now we're playing a little dance. He's going to come back here. Or he might. Yeah, there he goes. So then I'm going to fianchetto. No, I'm not. Because he's going to come here next. So I'm going to disable his castling on this side. He doesn't like it. He didn't like that at all. He fucking hated that. Straight up hated it. Now he's looking for a little checkmatey poop on his next move here. He's looking for a saucy little mate there. I do not give it. Now he castles this side. There it is. And I'm going to come here. He's going to move this pawn up one or two. No, he decided against it. I'm going to then use momentum to put pressure on him. He's got to now move his queen. There it is. And now I'm going to castle this side. Got my rook on an open file, and here comes this little saucification move there. Dream of California, saucification. So he's gonna. I'd hope he takes. Please take, but no, he's gonna. He enjoys that. He enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna move this guy off the corner, off the edge, because it's pointless over there. And the time's running low on me, which is kind of some fucking bullshit. So I'm going to just apply pressure on him and say, get the fuck out. I'm going to continue to apply that pressure and say, no, no safety, none. He misjudged that one. He misjudged that one too, because now I can take freely. And what is he going to do? He's got this. I mean, okay. Be my guest. If he doesn't take that, I'm going to just muscle my way up there. He's going to... Alright, I'm going to play this little game here. Oh, he's being a fucking cunt now. You can see it, can't you? Now he's looking for that nasty check, that dirty check. He wants that. He's going to try to double up here. There it is. I'm going to... I want to say I want to blockade that. I'm going to blockade. He's coming. He's coming with a fury. There it is. And now I can accept that trade. He's not going to trade. There it is. See? He's being cunty about it. Cunty. He's looking for something weird there. I'm not sure what he thinks he has, but it is nothing. It is indeed nothing. Oh, fuck it, I missed this fucking killer kill shot move, and that was lame. I'm focusing on other things. Now I develop my pieces. I still have a nice position for this guy. Just plop him. Plop him if you got him, you know what I'm saying? He's now gonna, what's he gonna try to do? I don't know what it's a lost cause. But we continue. Do I seek the trade? Yeah, I do. I do seek a trade. Oh, please. Yeah, that's no-brainer. Take that. Run and tail that. I defend this position. My time is running out. I seek the trade. The trade is... He would have been up a pawn. Would have been up a pawn. I come in there. Squirrely move. Now looking for a little bit of danger back here because I got nowhere to go. Nowhere to run to, but he's got nowhere to go because can't go there. And next move is bang, take. It's a fucking take festival over there. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want this either, however, because that's pretty ugly too. Nothing too devastating as of yet here, but yeah, he's looking to do some sick damage back here. He's looking for that last second heroics. Saucy, he was trying to make me take that, and he was looking to take that, but it was already defended. It was a bit queer. Queer eye for the chess guy. 21 seconds remain. Calmness is everywhere. That's trouble for him. That's a troubling move. I am troubled by that move, and I'm not even him. That's fucking big time trouble. Big trouble, little China. So, that's clean. That's a clean win. Fuck. Fuck them. Fuck him. What's up, Billy? You should bust up the Mike Brown SoundCloud. That shit bumps hard. Really? Did he do some stuff? Yeah. Trayvon did some stuff too. What up? We got Billy Bong in here. We got Amused. I know some of these people. Devin's amazing attention to detail is the reason I Patreon them. Well, thank you. Everyone here should do the same. $5 a month will take food out of your mouth. Yeah, it's a cup. For the price of a cup of coffee, you can make me continue.
Completely sold out phase of his life.
Now, I think I go back to, what do I say here? That is Dave 5. We want to go to Dave 6, but what am I talking about?
Oh my God, that was almost perfect projection. Their support, Dave, is what lets you make the dimes, the shekels.
Okay. Where is that? All right, let's go to season 3.
Past 2 years, and I intend on expanding on that, going deeper on the important issues that we're talking about and more. Your support allows me to do what I think is right instead of focusing on what content, and I intend on expanding on that, going deeper on the important issues that we're talking about and more.
Okay, let's bring that in. All right.
Out phase of his life.
Your support.
Okay. Need a little bit of an edit. There you go.
Your support allows me to do what I think is right instead of focusing on what content will make a dime.
And we're going to only Dave 6. That's depressing. Been here a while. Just raped an Indonesian man in public.
Will make a dime.
Oh my God.
Make a dime.
Oh my God, that was almost perfect projection. Their support, Dave, is what lets you make the dimes.
Okay, so we're going to put in some graphic here. Let's do those two. Scale. Separate.
The dimes, the shekels. And what you think is right is to make more shekels. It's not even a...
Okay, let's kill the Peterson interview. Kill the InfoWars. Kill the uncensored feminism. What's that? Jesus, there's a lot of shit going on down there. So I'm just going to create a solid, make it black, and there we go.
Dimes, the shekels. And what you think is right is to make more shekels. It's not even a secret. It's not like...
Crap.
Who, you know... who, you know, he was a grown-ass adult who had a career and an income, and Jordan Peterson is not some bloodthirsty capitalist. He took an influx of money, but he's trying to like reinvest it and like do something good with it. Dave has always been about making money. Like that's why he does this. Like that's why he does this. This was not just a...
Okay, let's see if we can get a close-up on Dave. Probably going to cut to Jordan. Okay, fuck him. Then we're going to go to season 3.
Making money. Like that's why he does this. This was not just a hobby of his. He's like, oh, well, maybe I'll make a YouTube channel. Like, you know. No. So the question is, how can you make more money in this world? Cater to atheists? Pronounce your atheism? Or maybe bullshit on atheism? Yeah. maybe muddy the waters a little bit on that. Let's invite that Christian dollar in, shall we? Not even just the Christians. Let's get that spiritual but not religious, woo-woo, agnostics. Let's get all that shit in. Milo does it. Milo does it. Jordan Peterson does it.
And we could do a quick Milo here. So we come with somewhere in the late game. There we go. Turn the sound off. Thank you. Jordan Peterson does it is going to be we are going to what is good. And then Alex Jones. Where's that expression he put? I mean, they're all pretty ridiculous. Where was it that has bulging eyes? That's nice. All right.
Shit in. Milo does it. Milo does it. Jordan Peterson does it. Milo does it. Jordan Peterson does it. Those dudes are pretty rich. How do you think David Silverman's Patreon's doing? Milo does it. Milo does it. Jordan Peterson does it. Those dudes are pretty rich. How do you think David...
We go to Silver. Nope, we go to David. Slide him in. He walked in through the outdoor. He wore his raspberry beret. Kind you find in a second-hand store.
How do you think David Silverman's Patreon's doing? Let's go take a look at that. Well, he's not on Patreon. They have their own donation system on theamericanatheist.org. But...
Okay, let's kill that and that.
But Dave Silverman is in it for the cause. He's not in it to make money. And once again, let me just point out, there's nothing wrong with making money. What people find irritating, myself included, is when you say that's not what you're about to our face. You lie to our face.
Okay, I don't know what I say next.
So knowing the history of Dave Rubin's views on atheism, let's listen to what he's saying now. Now that we're in the...
Okay, we can just bleed right into that. No worries, we're still on number 7. Not even close. Not even fucking close, dude.
Face. So knowing the history of Dave...
Okay, we can tell Dave to go away. And we're going to... clickety-do. And in, out. There we go. Bye-bye.
Knowing the history of Dave Rubin's views on atheism, let's listen to what he's saying now. Now that we're in the 3rd phase.
And we will hit the posage. We will hit the rotation.
Now that we're in the 3rd phase of the Rubin Report, he knows his audience. He's familiar with the bank account of Milo and Jordan Peterson and Alex Jones. Let's see if he's got a new thought about atheism, shall we?
Okay, that's gone. Now we're going to come to these 2 videos. Which one is which? Let's see. Let's talk about here.
Welcome back, Dave. Glad you've taken off the grid time and had some physical work around your house. This is our real regeneration. Have you become a believer already by being offline? I'm so glad you asked that question. And I wasn't going to get into it right now, but
Okay, I'm going to bump the volume. 155.
glad you asked it. And I'm reading all these things live, so you might ask me something that I'm not prepared to answer. So I do want to say something about the believer thing. So, you know, until I started this show on Aura 2 years ago, so earlier before I said the thing about that I consider this the third season of this show.
Okay, and that's when we come to, shit. Once again, didn't label. Did not label. I think it's something weird. Yes. Okay. We are going to... Yes. Strong statement here.
Third season of this show. So, you know, originally when we launched the Rubin Report and we were part of the Young Turks, it was a different show altogether. A lot of the things that I was talking about was different, just the whole thing. So I kind of put that version of the show aside. Then I would view season 1 of the Rubin Report as being when we launched on Aura TV. The first episode that I think most of you have seen was the first time that I had ever met Sam Harris.
And then do a Sam drive-by.
Sam Harris, and we had a great run. Sam Harris, and we had a great run at Aura, and then we decided to leave. It had a lot to do with my original discussion with Yaron Brook about rational self-interest.
Rational self-interest.
Interest and working for yourself and all that kind of stuff. So I would consider season 1 of the Rubin Report was that.
I don't know what I'm saying next.
Are you pulling a Neil deGrasse Tyson? And
Aura. I would say season 2 of the Rubin Report started last June.
Scale it down. Tighten this up. Until actually take that out. So just going to go up and down. There it is.
June, when we decided to go independent, we went on Patreon. So this is about 14 months ago.
And where's that Patreon dollar billion?
14 months ago or so, maybe 15 months now.
And we can increase the size on that. So you're going to scale it.
14 months ago or so, maybe 15 months now. I would consider that to be season 2. Everything we did from there, from going into.
We're going to flip the entire thing on vertically. Doesn't make sense, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Let's rotate this way. Nope. What the fuck? Let's flip vertically. That's fun. And now we're gonna bring this over here And we're going to bring this over here. It's going to be weird.
Okay. Season 2, everything we did from there, from going independent to then.
Okay, let's give it a little more time.
To everything we did from there, from going independent to then buying. So having a home studio.
All right, we are going to go cha-ching sound effect. What? There we go. Don't like it. That's the same one. Better. Let's use it. Let's use it to our advantage. Anytime, keep vid. Slowest site on the internet, keep vid. Whenever you're ready. Bring it in. We're going monkey. Monkey see, monkey do. We're doing cha-ching. We're bringing this in. We're turning the thing off, but we're doubling up on the volume.
Have a home studio, all of that season 2. I would say as of today, we are now in season 3.
Okay. Let's very tight.
We are now in season 3. Now in season 3. The reason I mention all this in terms of Believer is because when we did the thing on Aura, and I had a burst of atheists on, Michael Shermer on, and Peter Boghossian, and obviously Sam, and a bunch of others. Of atheists on. I had Michael Shermer on, and Peter Boghossian, and obviously Sam. And obviously Sam, and a bunch of others. And my feeling about belief always.
That is too cunty. Bring in Douglas. Bring in David and Daniel Dennett coming in for the ride. Let's do Christopher. And let's do Bill Maher. And Ion. So we're going to take all those and we're going to scale them all down. Down to Chinatown. Good. Now we're going to lay them out just in a appealing fashion. And that's going to be tricky. He's got to be above. Daniel's going to be back here. Let's peek him out. And Sam. Richard. Where's Richard? Scale him down. Scale Sam down a bit. Yes. What is... Maybe he's just chilling out back here going...
an atheist or thought, didn't think.
Oh, where's Gervais? Gervais has got some explaining to do. Where are you, Gervais? Get up. Okay, so we're going to take all of these and we're going to set the position. Otherwise known, the Brazilian is referred to as posage. And we're going to slide them all the way. Off, 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 get out, leave, bye, bye, and good night. Sweet Prince. So, David's coming in later. Separate these out a bit. Now we're going to take all those and motion blur them all and ease it out. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
As atheist or thought, didn't think about it because I'd spent a lot of time in my life thinking. I've story about how
and the audio is not operational.
I mount. She supposed got
fucking hell. Skip 5 frames. Come on, baby. Haven't got all day.
Was ready to have a religious experience, and it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. But in any event, I sort of got pinned into saying I was an atheist because I had all these people on, and by default, if you don't believe in something, you know, and Peter Boghossian and I talked a bit about something.
Okay, I think I come in there. So we do. What am I at? I'm Dave 8. Only at 8. That's fucking depressing. What is this? What am I looking at even? Don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, we got to hit up that one. And move it over here. And freeze frame. Well, that kind of works too. Let's see.
Pulling a Neil deGrasse Tyson and showing me an aversion to acknowledging that you're an atheist and always was. Reeks of weakness. It reeks of it. It's that regret.
Okay, I hate what I've done. This, we're going to slide up. We're going to slide it back. Yes. Oh, yes. Hit shirt, we're going to reposition. Change the position over here.
And showing me an aversion to acknowledging that you're an atheist and always was. Now that reeks of weakness. It reeks of it. It's that regressive DNA yet again. I mean, they talk about soft atheist, hard atheist. This is soft atheism to the point of it's not even solid. It's gaseous. This is an atheist fart.
And then...
Oh my God. Every time I try to get out of atheism 1.0, they pull me back in. Oh, you've been pinned into...
I talked a bit about the difference between atheism and agnosticism. I don't want to get too lost in that right now. But I kind of got pinned into it. And one of the things that I was...
Now... we could take this, bring it on up, all the way up. And we're going to come in with one of our memes. Just a meme. And we're going to position. We're going to take this. Hitch would hate me. We're going to rotate. And we're going to scale up a little bit. Yes. Oh, yes.
Every time I try to get out of Atheism 1.0.
Okay. And we're going to scale. We're going to take the ease off that scale. We're going to start larger. And we're going to fade it on back. To that. Yeah. Just like that.
Every time I try to get out of Atheism 1.0, they pull me back in. Oh, you've been pinned into calling yourself an atheist, eh? Well, you are an atheist. Sorry to pin you on that. Have those gays in West Hollywood pinned you into being called a gay? You do gay stuff. You are a gay. Are you averse to saying that you're gay? I mean, you spent much of your life in the closet, so...
Okay. Kill.
There's that.
I was thinking in this last...
Okay. And we can give him his little bill up there.
That.
Pinned into it. And one of the things that I was...
There's that.
But I kind of got pinned into it. And one of the things that I was thinking in this last month, which is why I'm glad you asked this question, and I'll have some people on to discuss it a little bit further.
Yeah, we can increase this a bit and raise them up. There you are.
Is I can't, look, there are probably things that I believe that I can't prove. So, like, I'll just give you an easy one that people use as an example. Look, if you say, well, do you love your mother?
Okay. So that would lead me into talking probably. And what are we at? 10. Yay, double digits. We're in the double digit zone.
This idea pinned into it like it's some bad thing. Like,
okay, now we got memes aplenty. So let's drop a meme on his skull. The one I created, which I like. Why so chivalrous? Let's do AIU t-shirt. Yep.
Do you love your mother?
I like this idea pinned into it like it's some bad thing. Like, God damn it, they forced me to admit I was an atheist. He understands that the position of being an atheist.
Fuck, this is not correct.
So there's that.
But I kind of got pinned into it. I kind of got pinned into it.
I like this idea pinned in. Like some bad thing. Like, God damn it, they forced me to admit I was an atheist. He understands that the position of being an atheist is going to turn off a huge percentage of the people of the world who will pay you money.
And we kill that, and we pop in with... What's this? Porch atheist.
Ever heard of a televangelist? These dudes that have these mega churches, they're rich.
Joel Osteen.
And Pastor Joel Osteen is with us now.
Safe as.
Buying jets. You see that dude in...
Oops. Creepy as fuck, that guy.
See that dude in Houston? What's his name? I don't even know his name. Joel Orstein, Orifice, whatever. Olstein. Joel whatever, Orenstein, Orville Redenbacher. You see his haircut? You think that's a $10 haircut? That's supercuts? No. That's a custom job. That's going to cost money. Money. What percentage of the dudes that pay Jordan Peterson do you think?
Shit.
Do you believe
Just take a
that
guess.
we're
What percentage of the dudes that pay Jordan Peterson?
Fuck is happening? That's strange. Oh wow, I'm moving both. What the fuck is Peter North doing? Oh, that's weak. There.
What percentage of the dudes that pay Jordan Peterson do you think are... that pay Jordan Peterson do you think are atheists? Just take a guess.
I was thinking.
That was the end of that thought. Okay. So, we got to get rid of that and that. And that and that. No, not that. Get rid of that.
Just take a guess.
One of the things that I was thinking in this last month, which is why
Save 11, does that make sense? to the meaning to talk right there.
Do you love your mother?
Like religion? Things you believe that you can't prove.
Yeah, I'll just give you an easy one that people use as an example. Look, if you say, well, do you love your mother?
Like religion?
There are probably things that I believe that I can't prove. So I can't prove.
Okay, so
that I believe that I can't prove.
Like religion? Things
I can't prove.
like religion?
okay, so now we come with the means. And
Like religion?
Can't prove.
Like religion? Things you believe that you can't prove. So we're back once again to not even atheism 1.0. This is just dumb fuckery 1.0. It's religion's job. It's the religious person's job to prove there's a God. And you can take this word proof and throw it out the window because you're begging. You're begging.
okay, we are going to replace that with another meme. Classical fraud, I think is good.
You're begging. You're begging.
Begging is time it with that.
Window because you're begging. You're begging to divert the conversation into one about agnosticism. And can we know anything? And can we prove anything? When you, me, and everybody at this point should understand that it's not about proving it.
What's this? Classical fibral.
Understand that it's not about proving, it's about building a credible case for the most likely event, a reasonable assumption based off all of the evidence. It's how science works, it's how common sense works, but he's using words like prove. And he prefaces this little spiel with, there are many things I believe in that I can't prove.
So like
Things I believe in that I can't prove.
there are probably things that I believe.
Like religion. And now he's going to pivot and he's going to say, oh, I can't prove I love my mother. I mean, just ridiculous. Can't prove.
There are probably things that I believe that I can't. So like, I'll give you an easy one that people use as an example. Look, if you say, well, do you love your mother?
God, somebody told him that too. He was convinced by that argument while talking to a religious person. That's so stupid.
Do you love your mother?
And now he's going to pivot and he's going to say, oh, I can't prove I love my mother.
Okay, let's put in a meme. Memes.
Going to pivot and he's going to say, oh, I can't prove I love my mother. I mean, just ridiculous, retarded, like, this is Christian.
Nice. Didn't even notice that.
Apologetics from like 40 years ago. When if you understood the burden of proof and what the hell atheism even is, which you claim to understand, which you illustrated that you did understand back in chapter 2.
Scheiß. Scheiß fever, scheiß fever. Do 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 do. There it is. Position. And all it is up, and then it goes down. And we do it like that.
You illustrated that you did understand back in chapter 2. You would understand back in chapter 2. You would understand that we don't have to.
Much faster.
Back in chapter 2, you would understand that we don't have to prove anything. Atheists are the ones observing that those with the burden of proof.
Let us throw in. I love boobs. Okay.
Burden of proof, those making the ridiculous claims about the universe have failed comically, miserably in that pursuit. But yes, Dave, it's very tricky to prove that you love your mom. And so therefore, it's difficult to prove your atheism? It's so dumb. It's like preciously dumb.
Well, everyone says yes to that, but how do you prove that? How do you actually prove that? Is that actually provable?
So asinine. Yes, okay, we understand the words love. And I always love that the religious people go to the word love on that, because they're all about love. It's like, love, God is love. Love shall set you free. All this crap. Love thy neighbor, right? Why not go to hate? You could just as easily go prove that you hate somebody. And it's just a semantics game. Loving and hating are words. They have definitions. You can build a completely legitimate case that you love or hate somebody. It's not going to be proven in a court of law. This is a ridiculous mental masturbation session we're in. By this logic, you can't prove that OJ killed Nicole and Ron. They literally couldn't prove it. So I guess nothing matters and we don't know anything. And that avalanche of evidence meant nothing, and it's probably 50-50, shit, probably innocent. And I love this example. Do I love my mother? Yes. What is the significance of this debate? Usually children love their mothers. Usually that's true. If you say you do, I have no reason to believe you're lying. If you exhibit behavior that is suggestive of the fact that you actually have strong feelings for your mother, then yeah, I'm going to take your word for it. It's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. And you're going to try to say, you know, because I can't prove to a jury of my peers that I love my mother based off some non-existent standard of proving love to somebody, then you're going to give a pass and provide shade to the ludicrous claims of the religious, such as virgin births, resurrections, there's a man in the sky, the universe was created by an entity who enjoys goat sacrifice. I mean, Dave, you're slipping a little bit you slipped. Fucking scandalously weak. Scandalously weak.
I don't know. But what I would say is I did think there were a few times, again, because I was in this place of real gratitude to you guys.
Hmm? The fuck?
Of real gratitude to you guys and allowing my brain to just kind of breathe a little bit more and all that stuff. I was thinking there's things probably that I believe that I can't necessarily quite explain or that I wonder about or out or whatever.
Ah, gratitude to you guys.
I'm allowing my brain to just kind of breathe a little bit more. Gratitude to you guys and allowing my brain to just kind of.
All right, let's do Rubin on atheism there, and let's drop it down here. Nope, drop it under that.
Just kind of.
Ah, gratitude. So asinine. Yes, okay, we understand the words love, and I always love. Ah, gratitude to you guys. The people that provide you money, the people that bought your house, the people that provide you damn near $500,000 every year. Yeah, I'd be grateful to them too. Yes. Hey, if I started making videos, you know, if the brony community, I've done a couple brony videos, if all of a sudden they started showering me with Patreon money to the tune of $26K a month, you know what I would do? Probably do more brony videos. I probably might enter a different chapter of my life. One in which I'd say, you know, adult men who are a bit socially awkward, bit MGTOW-y, enjoying a cartoon geared for little girls about magical ponies, I think that's fine and it's good. And I mean, we all have shows and things that we like that weren't geared for us, and I don't see anything wrong with them. And by the way, there's nothing inherently wrong with brony. I actually think that it's a harmless whatever. But it is weird, and I'm not going to start doing pro-brony videos and pawn.
It's conforming this big ass file for the brony shit. Atheism. What's up, y'all? Oh, Devin so right. One runs away from religion and the other toward all for money. This is some bullshit right now. Waiting, 71% done. While we wait for that to conform, we challenge someone to match. Match, oh god. Where's that guy from? Antigua. Okay. He goes for the fianchetto. I'm very combative. And I push forward in the middle, taking control of that middle, solidifying. He then returns favor. That's pretty much a worthless move for me. He takes there. Ooh, now he comes. There he is. I try to reestablish my position. Here he comes. No? Interesting. Okay, I'm going to castle this side. He's castling that side. Not yet. There it is. Now that is to set up shop here. I'm trying to bust up this. I want him to move this piece forward one. And to do that, I'm going to move my queen up here, threaten that mate there in the corner. So plans are being laid. Oh shit. Now he's just fucked my plan in the poop.
Awkward, bit MGTOW-y, enjoying
shit. Okay. He just bent my plans over. Now I gotta deal with this situation. Now he's gonna get crafty here and come here first. He thinks he's like some bright ass dude. That would be a mistake. That is better. Alright. Now let's just clean him out. Nope. Can't. Shit. Got me all flustered now. Damn him. Damn him to hell. Alright, let's come there. He comes there because he's aggressive. No, he doesn't. Alright, let's deal with that threat. Let's try to get back to our original plan, which was to send the queen there, then send this guy there, threatening that, and he's just fucked that. He fucked us. Okay. Alright, here he comes. Okay. Alright. It's not right, but it's okay. So he's applying major pressure here. Major. That's a lot of pressure. Now, a little bit of a momentum shift. Okay, he takes there. Didn't like that. Shit. Gave up my fucking castle. It's amazing. You see the move as you make the move. It's like, oh, that was a blunder. A total eclipse of the brain. I like that because we got that. We'll take that right now. Jump back. We got this next. No, we don't. Got that next. Pressure on that pawn. Catching up on time. We'll take that trade. Pressure. Take that trade. I will take that, and I will then take here. Big advantage now. Take that trade. That's a panic job. So, that's another panic move. Momentum. Momensh. The move is there for the win. There it is. So, it was some late game devastation by me. And it all comes down to the blunder there. No. So, I moved this piece out, was in danger. I moved him. I didn't have any choices to move him back here, which is totally out of the game. And he was instrumental in the win. Moved him here. He should have taken there. Still wouldn't have been over, but it would have been devastating. He's looking to double up on me here. I defend there. He takes anyway. I take. There's the threat. He's, got these two pawns. Passed pawn here. Check. Come back. then he didn't know how to react to that because that pawn going was not good for him. He decided to trade. Bang, bang, bang. I'm up on that pawn anyway. So he's going to lose a pawn anyway. He's just out the queen. His whole plan to somehow attack this pawn was like just not working. It had like multiple defenders. He then pushed, again, a weird attempt to get to this. I don't know. If he goes there, I go here. Yeah, it wasn't happening. Threat there. Trying to clear up. He's defending that pawn, so I was trying to clear up for that. Take. And then he opens the door. I think he was looking to take here. So he wasn't. His threat assessment was not happening. Then I took his piece over here. I'm up a piece. He then looks for the trade, and if you're up pieces late game, you're going to take that trade every time. I used this pawn, which was under threat from that. Push him forward. That's a meaningless move. And then I continue to push that pawn. And if he's taking refuge in the corner, I mean, there's some deadly bang. Why didn't I just go there immediately? Well, because he would have taken that pawn. So I come up here, momentum, he's got to defend this threat. Once that move, the knight is defending that killer shot there. That's just a mate. So I come here, threatening. This is now defending that pawn. So then this move is the mate move. He goes there, and it's a fork, but it's also mate. But yeah, it was deadly. I mean, quite frankly, it's fucking crazy that I just did that to him. What is this? Sticks 666. Don't know what that is. Either German Bruin or AIU Tracy, yes. But you're not a witch skeptic YouTuber. Don't know what that means. Prepare for war, the beacons have been lit. Take a trip back to your roots and have a listen to this smug bastard. Oh god. Does he really do a video about the hurricane? Come on. Kirk Cameron? Oh, Jesus, Kirk.
I hope you can hear me. I'm actually in the Orlando airport here in Florida, and I've had such a great time this weekend. I'm sorry, it's coming up on the weekend. Such a great time these last couple of days. I've been hanging out at an award show for Christian music radio, and Danny Goki, I got to meet him last night. Been wanting to meet him for a while. Zach Williams was there. Mercy Me. I got to host the award program, and it was just a really cool night. I got to meet Phil Wickham. And I had a thought this morning as I leave Florida. Everyone's trying to leave Florida right now. Walmart is being emptied of its shelves of water and canned food because Irma is on its way. And a friend of mine, Jay Younts, pointed out something really insightful, and I wanted to share it with you this morning. You know, Harvey, they say, was a once-in-a-lifetime event because the destruction was unprecedented with that hurricane.
But these hurricanes have nothing compared to the power of God? Is that what it is?
There's another one coming up that they say is now the largest recorded hurricane.
There's another once-in-a-lifetime event, and that's what Jesus did for mankind.
On the Atlantic. This is Irma, and the devastation from that, we don't know how much that's going to be. But how should we look at two giant hurricanes coming back to back like this?
Clear message that gay sex is not right.
Did we just do we write them off as
nature?
Coincidence? Do we
atmospheric conditions leading to storm development?
Write it off as a statistical anomaly?
Global warming, man-made.
Wow.
There's no moods to nature, Kirk.
I don't know how you think about it, but
let me guess, you're gonna send this through the old filter of religious thought, and it has something to do with God and Jesus. Really?
I think it could be something much more than all of that. I'm going to look here in God's Word and read to you from Job.
Oh, yeah.
And
Job probably predicted Irma.
37.
Was he a meteorologist? I don't.
God says through Job.
Get a fucking Job.
He saturates clouds with
with the urine. And computer's freezing. Video unavailable. Sorry, this could not load. What? some fucking bullshit. He saturates clouds with what? How am I supposed to know how to interpret the current events? What is he saturating them with?
And I wanted to share it with you this morning. Unprecedented with that hurricane. But how should we look at a statistical, it could be something much more than all of that. He saturates clouds with moisture. He scatters his lightning through them. They swirl about, turning around and around.
So you have postulated an anthropomorphized entity that is in control of nature. Not unlike the God of Thunder. Impressive, Kirk. This is really useful. I'm sure this is going to help the future victims of Irma, and it's preventative. I mean, can we communicate with this beast, this sky beast of yours?
At his direction, accomplishing everything that he commands them.
You're a grown-up, Kirk. You're a grown-up.
Over the surface of the inhabited world. He causes this to happen for punishment or to water his land.
Water. It's watering, yes. No, it's a hurricane, Kirk. We're aware of what water does to plants, and I don't think I don't think he's gardening us.
And demonstrate his faithful love.
There is no he, and faithful love. So Irma is an act of love. Thank you.
One thing we know about hurricanes and all weather is that this is not Mother Nature in a bad mood. This is a spectacular display of God's...
Not of Mother Nature. It's a spectacular display of nature.
Immense power.
See that? You think Irma's powerful. What about God's power? He has wrath. He gives punishment.
And when he puts his power on display, it's never without reason.
What is the reason, Kirk? Just take a wild guess. This is just some madness. I mean, God of the Gaps meets fuck Florida. Like, yeah, there's a reason. The Jews are in Florida. It's God's way of saying, all the retirees in Florida, time to go.
There's a purpose. And we may not always understand what that purpose is.
But we do capitalize off the mystery that is surrounding that purpose. And we will speculate. So I do have a few thoughts as to why it's hitting that region. But yeah, send me money anyway.
But we know it's not random.
250,000 views on this.
And
it's not random. Yes, there's science. Science explains how and why this happens and with what frequency we can predict these things.
Know that weather is sent.
Oh, weather's sent. Look at him talking about this. There's a puzzled look on his face. We know weather is sent by God
to cause us
to reflect on what we're doing in our behavioral patterns.
To respond to God in humility.
And in rain dances. The Indians had it right. If you're not dancing for rain, clearly somebody's been dancing nonstop. And that's why Irma has hit us. Fuck the Native Americans.
Awe and repentance.
It's a shock and awe campaign from God. Thanks. Repent. Repent.
Again, there's not a random molecule in the universe, I believe.
Have you ever looked at anything in the universe? It's quite random, actually. Tell that to Andromeda when it crashes into our solar system.
But that God is the Lord of the wind and the waves. And what
God is the Lord of ice and fire.
Should be doing for all of us is causing us to remember that it's God who supplies our life, breath, and everything else.
You are a clueless fucking loser. Kirk, have you ever stopped and thought to yourself, what if I was wrong?
So that you and I would reach out to him.
What a worthless thought. What does this have to do with a hurricane? Everything is not random. God is sending this devastating hurricane. Why? I like how he's avoiding the moral issues, the question of evil. Like, what is the fucking point here, God? It's so trivially dumb.
So think about that. Maybe share that with your kids.
With the kids, yeah, that's a good start. The kids can be duped. Yeah, start there.
When they ask why this is happening.
Yeah, and the answer is what? Because God has awesome power and there's a reason. We may not know the reason. Mysterious ways, bro.
Remind them that God is the blessed controller of all things.
He's air traffic controller, great.
He's the Lord of the wind and the waves.
And the bees and the bumblebees and the honeybees and the sunflowers, and he's the god of the gaps, and he's the...
And he is the one who gives us peace, security, and strength in the midst of the storm.
What? Yeah, so in the eye of the storm?
And that he uses this to point us to him.
Huh? If he's pointing it to him, why are you leaving Florida?
And to his care for us.
Oh, God cares about you via hurricane. Incredible thought, Kirk. Why don't you stay there and just embrace the warm hug of God?
God bless you. I'm out of here. I'm leaving Florida. I'm on my way.
Yeah, who would want to be in the center of all that God love?
To Arkansas right now.
Yeah, that's something that you'll never hear me say in my life.
And I hope you're all safe. Continue to pray for those who are going to be here during Irma's visit to Florida.
Irma's visit? Look at that face.
Blessings to you.
Blessings. Blessings. It's Kirk Cameron. God. Just to the bitter end, that guy's a doofus. Fucking hell. That is scandalous. Who sent that to me? Wow. Devin just watched the first Kirk Cameron video today. Yeah. It's come full circle. It's just fucking hell. Alright, let's finish this puppy off. How much more do we have?
Awkward, bit MGTOW-y, enjoying a cartoon geared for little girls about magical ponies. I think that's fine and it's good. And I mean, we all have shows and things that we like that weren't geared for us, and I don't... You know, adult men who are a bit... I think that's fine. And I mean, we all have shows and things that we like. Inherently wrong with brony. I actually think that it's a harmless... But it is weird, and I'm not going to start doing brony videos on you like it's just me changing. I think some of you might connect the that $26,000 he's making a month from primarily the brony. Continue to do that in the following year, or is he going to veer away and do what he thinks is, quote, when you hear the Brinks truck backing up towards your house and it's making that beep, 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 you're going to gravitate to that. That is what you think is right, and that is where you're going. That is why you've had the guests you've had on. That is why you've taken the stance you took against Trump. No, sorry. Did I say against Trump? I'm sorry. Towards Trump. That was an amazing shift there. Your position on Trump has been aging quite nicely, don't you think, in the past year? It's just this simple. This man has abandoned his principles, changed his positions multiple times. And every time he did it, it was to make more money. Does that escape anybody? It's just that basic.
Breathe.
Day 14, day 15 is where we're at.
About or whatever.
Like what, Dave? Ghosts?
That I believe that I can't necessarily quite explain, or that I wonder about, or whatever.
Like what, Dave?
Or that I wonder about, or whatever.
Like what, Dave? Ghosts? Huh?
And maybe that's more just. And maybe that's more just the spiritual side of things. I don't think that there is a man in the sky who's watching who I have sex with, or what I'm doing privately, or any of that stuff.
atheist. Oh, cool. You're an atheist. Oh, did I just pin you into that? Oh, no. Walk that back a little bit, Dave. Some of the patrons might be watching.
But maybe the phrase atheist isn't so important relative to the thing. That isn't that important. And that I possibly believe in some things that I can't quite explain yet. So I'm glad I don't even know that I fully formed that through yet. Quite explain yet. So I'm
He's basically saying, hey, all you Jordan Peterson fans who Patreon Jordan Peterson, I am not that. I believe in some things that might be watching.
But maybe the phrase atheist isn't so important relative to the things that I really care about. Isn't that important?
Believe in some things that I can't explain. Believe in some things that I can't explain? I can't explain whatever the fuck you just said or think you said. That doesn't mean I'm not an atheist. That doesn't mean that God belief is justified in any way. But thanks, yeah, we don't have total mastery of all things in the universe, so therefore God. Thanks, Dave.
So I'm glad I don't even. Some things that I can't quite explain. I can't quite explain it.
I believe in some things that. For God. Thanks, Dave.
So I'm glad I don't even know that I fully formed that through yet. Through yet.
I believe.
Yeah.
He's acting like saying you're an atheist. You never said. He's acting like saying you're an atheist. By the way, you've never said it. You had a video, like a 7-minute video of you talking about.
But I'm glad you asked about that, so thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Else. A few of you are saying that I've said I'm an. That's what I'm saying, is that I had never said it before. I'm 99% sure, and anyone is welcome to correct me on this, that I had never
He's
said
acting
it
like saying you're an atheist. By the way, you never said it. You had a video, like a 7-minute video of you talking about. He's acting like saying you're an atheist. By the way, you've never said it. You had a video, like a 7-minute video of you talking about atheism, very bluntly explaining exactly why it's ridiculous to believe in God. You explained the burden of proof. You explained reason. You explained scientific evidence. You seemed to understand the concepts. However, that was a couple months before you went independent, before you relied on Patreon money, before you made a financial decision to de-emphasize your atheism for money. Dave, are we supposed to be impressed by that? Like, you don't even have to be an anti-theist like me. By the way, everybody should be that. Oh, fucking brain dead of you to not be an anti-theist. Oh, I know you're not. Oh, but maybe being anti is bad, right? Yeah, okay, call yourself a humanist. Call yourself a secular humanist. Spin it however you want. By the way, being against labeling yourself anti-something is another sign of regression and weakness, just so you know. But you don't have to be as outspoken an atheist as me to understand that this is hypocritical, to understand that this is wishy-washy bullshit. Spin it however you want. By the way, being against labeling yourself anti-something is another sign of regression and weakness, just so you know. Regression and weakness. And weakness, just so you know.
Antifa!
And weakness, just so you know.
Antifa!
But you don't have to be as outspoken an atheist as me to understand. Outspoken an atheist as me to understand that this is hypocritical. That this is wishy-washy bullshit being presented to you. And the motivation here is not because Dave thinks this is right. He's not some principled dude with integrity. He's a man who's got to pay his mortgage. And he acts like calling yourself an atheist is like admitting you were a communist. Have you ever been associated with the atheist movement, Dave?
If I'm not...
You can already tell the defensiveness.
If I'm not mistaken, it was in October or November, 99% sure it was November of 2015. I think that was the first time I had ever said it. I was always happy to have the conversations with atheists and all that stuff. All that stuff.
You can already tell the defensiveness in which he comes into this conversation. It's as if he's talking to a group of Christians and he's playing like, look, I never said it out loud. I mean, you know, like I never said I was gay before. I used to have boyfriends. Never said it. So, oh, you fooled us, Dave. Yeah, I guess you're not an atheist unless you publicly say it. It's like, Dave, you're clearly an atheist then and now. But yeah, keep talking to that Christian audience. Pedal.
What I'm saying now is I'm not making any major change other than...
Said it before the Patreon money came in and before you left. Yeah, you said it before the Patreon money came in and before you left the left and went to the right, which is clearly the answer, money. Yeah, you said it before the Patreon.
99% sure it was November of 2015. I think that was the first time I had ever said it. I was always happy to have the conversations with atheists and all that stuff.
You can already tell the defensiveness in which he...
I mistake, it was in October or November.
Yeah, you said it before the Patreon money came in and before you left the left and went to the right, which is the more religious side of the political spectrum. And then all the money came in and the subs came in. Now the religion thing got by Dave Rubin. And subs came in, and so now the religion thing got to go. Why I Left Atheism by Dave Rubin.
What I'm saying now is I'm not making any major change other.
The answer, money.
Change
other than me bullshitting and pissing on your face telling you it's raining.
Other than I'm just saying. What I'm saying now is I'm not making any major change.
Other than me
major change other than
me bullshitting and pissing. It's raining.
Other than I'm just saying, do I think that there's possibly some things that I believe in that I can't quite explain, that I just can't quite explain. I'm not even sure what they are. I'm not even sure what they are.
Things you believe in that you can't explain. Citation? Can we get an example? So you believe in stuff that, okay, oh, is it the pyramids, Dave? How did they stack those rocks on top of each other? I mean, it's crazy. Those pyramids are so big. Pyramids are so big. They would need stairs or... stack those rocks on top of each other. I mean, and those rocks are so heavy. How do you get one rock on top of another rock? You need some sort of stairway system, and you might need ropes or a huge pool of manual labor. God, or even decades to build those things. Well, they had all that. Jesus, what a beautiful distraction. Look, in terms of, I mean, Bermuda Triangle. You know, it's like, you know, who shot JFK? Was it one shooter or was, you know, grassy knoll? So, you know, don't act like you know everything, and let's just keep that money flowing. Thank you.
I think that's possible, and I don't think that's a mark on my intellect.
What intellect, Dave?
Or anything like that. I think a lot of us have these sort of these idiosyncratic little things popping around in our head that don't fully line up all the time.
Idiosyncratic. That's religious belief. Just some, you know, we all have these weird little things. It's minor. Dude, I'm unloading on them there.
And all the time.
What?
Don't all fully line up all the time.
What? I mean, things popping around in our head. Dave, I don't know what's going on in your head. Dave, let me just explain to you on there is no God. Religions are obvious man-made fabrications, lies, Dave. It's all baseless, anti-science fairy tales meant to delude the masses and to indoctrinate the children with. It's all fear-based. We understand the origins of it. It's not remotely credible or compelling. In fact, it's a joke. It's such a joke that only a couple years after coming together as a group, the atheists, we're so sick to death of beating the dead horse that is this, quote, debate, that we've, by and large, left the topic entirely, having laughed ourselves to tears and been thoroughly unimpressed with all of the counter-arguments. Dave's in a whole new world. He's rolling with a new crowd now, a crowd that's willing to fork over money. If Dave Rubin re-released the video he did on atheism on his channel now, he would lose thousands of dollars in Patreon. Guaranteed. Guaranteed he would. And that's why you're seeing this scramble right now. Oh, and by the way, this happens to me on a far smaller scale. So during the election, I could have polled my audience. In fact, I did poll my audience. 50% of them were Trump fans. 50% of them were Trump fans. You're probably still out there right now. What did I do? I said fuck Trump, and I still say fuck Trump. And you know what happened to me? I lost Patreon money. A ton of it, like 50% of it. I mean, if Trump fucks up, I'll hold his feet to the fire, but, Hillary's bad too, so that's a little misdirection. I'm not fully on board with everything Hillary says, which is true, but it's 96 to like 12. When I took the political compass test, I was 96% in line with Hillary, 12% with Trump. So if I were to pretend that it wasn't 96-12 and try to make you think that it was 50-50, you might be clued in to the fact that I'm doing it for a reason. Just like Dave saying, there are certain things that I don't know everything about, therefore religion is kind of potentially true. Therefore my atheism is something I was pinned into. I barely even, what, atheism? What? Me? No. What?
And I'll come back and talk about this more and get the right people on to talk about it more. It's just something that's been bouncing around.
I mean, you almost have to congratulate the guy for being this brazen about his lies. I mean, and here's the beautiful thing. In the end, Dave has a huge platform now, 500,000 subs. Money. So he's fine. Don't worry about Dave Rubin. This is the reason, though, that so many people are annoyed by Dave Rubin. It's the lies. In other words, it's not that Monica Lewinsky sucked Bill Clinton's dick. It's that Bill Clinton lied about it. That's the part that we can't stand. Included are not sitting there counting all the atheists being like, ooh, let's get Dave Rubin on our team. Let's promote atheism all the time. We're sick to death of it. Move on. We've moved. And we've said our piece and we've moved on. The morons are going to be the morons. The weak are going to be the weak. You figure it out. You do it on your own time. Get back to me when you're not an intellectual laughingstock, and then maybe we'll talk about something else of value instead of your make-believe sky people. But Dave consistently lies on this. He did it with his politics, and now he's doing it with his religious beliefs. Shame on Dave Rubin. You take your clothes off and you walk throughout King's Landing, and feces take your clothes off and you walk throughout King's Landing, and feces will be thrown upon you, and people will spit on you. What a thoroughly embarrassing and totally transparent display of greed and profiteering from a man with a complete lack of integrity. Bye. "37-minute video. The fuck?" Now I've got to go in and mess with some of the audio. Audio kill the radio. So where's the audio is the question. This? What's this? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This is it. Double up on that. Double up there. Double up there. Yes. Double that. Extra flavor for that extra good time. Extra time. I'm singing a double mint gum commercial. That's extra long time. Alright. That'll have to do. I don't know, hope for the best. I could review it all, but I'll fucking render it. Oh, Lord. Hey. Thank you for that. Long effort. I tell myself to make short videos. I really do. Is Dave Rubin looking chiseled, or is Dave Rubin looking chiseled? I mean, are those arms coming out of his tiny short sleeves, or is it a gun show? I have not noticed the gun show elements of which you speak. But who knows what he was doing with his vacay. Here we go. Let's do Rubin. And let's start that render. And Karkim is upon us. Why not? Another strike for that cunt. Would you say this is your nightmare? Sorry, but you're still my favorite kangaroo. Okay. But not little old me, this is truly the end. Don't worry, you are cool, AIU. It's good to know Dave Rubin supports your show by buying your merch. Yes, good. Correct. These guys have made me a better person. Wow. Vandra Nobre. Nobre. See if I can continue my streak. I'm streaking. What is happening there? I move first. Taking on an American. I like to thwart his progress there. I like to pin that. Okay, I don't like what he's doing. He's up to no good. Let's push him back. Continue that pushback. Let's wait a while before he's got to come out. It's too late. Let's wait a while before Could be there. I'm gonna play it cool. Play cool, Jack. Now he takes there, thinking he's won. He can take there on the follow.
I'm gonna go there. Here's the queen there. No. I'll come there at that point. He'll take that trade because he's a cunt. Oh, and he does not. I'll come here. If he goes there. Now he comes here. Okay. I avoid. Oh, that's tempting. I'm not gonna do it. Ain't gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Now, let's go here. Yay. He's trying a little pawn rush this side. But I got plans of my own. Plans of my own. Is he going to take? He's not. And if I go there, he takes. I take check. That would be mate. So let's see if he takes that bait. That's a heck of a move. It's a heck of a move. He wants to take, but he knows that if he takes, I come here, and that's not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So let's put him in check. We'll take the trade eventually on our own terms. I'm losing on time. Losing big time. Big time. Here's a little power move from him. Thwarted. Thwart. No. Another power move. Power moves. He's power moving me. Left and right. Power move that. Okay, you gotta watch out for that though. You gotta watch out now. Yeah, you're power moving left and right. Take that power move. No, that's a power move by me. A lot of power moves at play here. It gets real sketchy when the power moves start coming out. How's he going to play that? That's a check. No. Frothy. And that's not gonna do it. He's got to go there. Not gonna do it. All right. Let's go there. Let's come there. Threat is there. He's what? Okay. But what happened? Okay, take that trade. Power move. Man is just uncorking power moves on me, and I'm just like, what? He's gonna double up here. No, he wants to do that, but can't. Wanted to, but couldn't. And that's a power move. That is another power move by him. He has many moves. Many moves this man has got. And he quits. He quits because he knew dominance had been established. When you come to play power moves against me, understand that there will be power moves played up against you. You must recognize that. Check Mare. Correct. Yeah, he got this one. Yes. So, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me your name. Dana Carvey has a new show on Netflix. Not that new, but it's pretty new. Very amusing. Very fun. Ooh, girlfriend's awake. I hear girlfriend action. Alright. I'm gonna go talk to my girlfriend. Girl power. Look for this video later. Talk to you guys later.